Hi everyone, my name's Allie and thanks for joining me today for the Rapid City Public Library's fantastic craft series. Today we're going to be making magic carpets in a jar and we're going to be exploring magnetism as well. But before we get started, I want to give you guys a reminder to make sure to keep logging your reading in those summer reading logs because we have so many cool prizes for you guys to win this year. And just for turning in your 25-day log, you will get a free book and a free small prize. If you keep reading and enter a 50-day log, then you have a chance to win some of these cool prizes. Let me show you. So my first example, bigger prize, is a gemstone dig. This is really cool. You can unleash your inner geologist and practice digging and excavating gemstones. There's some really cool, beautiful ones in here. Comes with some hammers, some excavation tools, some goggles, very important. And the next toy is a color changing lip balm kit. So this is pretty cool. It's kind of, you get to make your own science and create your own lip balm. There's all sorts of different combinations, all sorts of different flavors, and you can protect your lips while learning about science. All right, guys. Well, let's talk a little bit about magnetism really quick. So paper clips that are included in your, in your magic carpet in a jar, paper clips aren't normally magnetic, but how do you think they are able to stick to magnets though? Well, when a magnet touches a paper clip, the magnetic force from a magnet travels down through the paper clip, and that's how the paper clip sticks to the magnet. Because that magnetic force is in the paper clip, you can then continue to attach other paper clips to that paper clip, and the magnetic force will travel all the way down the chain. So we're going to explore that concept today in our craft. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we have in our jar. All right, guys, so in your jar, you should have an instruction sheet. You should have a cutout, so you can cut out your globe and you can choose a boy or a girl magic carpet rider, 2 magnets, 2 paper clips, 1 piece of yarn, 2 glue dots, and your jar, of course. So our first step is going to be, we'll take away all of this stuff, and you'll need a pair of scissors. So go ahead and get a pair of scissors really carefully, and you're going to cut out your globe and one of the 2 characters. You can choose the boy or the girl, or you can do both. You do one on either side. So I'm going to cut those out really quickly. You can cut the whole white circle if you want. I'm just doing this really quickly. And I'm going to pick the girl for my magic carpet rider. And when you cut out your magic carpet rider, you do want to cut as close to the picture as you can because you want it to be kind of small so it'll fit in the jar. So see how that's much smaller than the whole circle itself? That's about the size you want your magic carpet rider. All right. Our next step is we're going to take our jar and one of our glue dots, and we're going to attach our globe to the outside of our jar. Our jar is kind of going to act like the globe, and when your magic carpet rider is magnetized, they will be spinning around like they're flying around the globe. So these are pretty sticky. They're kind of difficult sometimes, but you just place it on the back of the globe, and then you can stick it anywhere you like. Perfect. All right, so now we have our globe on there. Great. So the next step, we are going to tie our piece of yarn to one of the paper clips. And on the instructions, I say the large paper clip, but I've actually included 2 small ones in your kit. I found that that's a lot easier than using 2 large ones. So I hope that that will help you as well. So let's go ahead, and you just want to tie a knot or maybe a double knot at the end of one of your paper clips. I'm going to do a double knot just to really make sure that it sticks well. All right, so we have our yarn with the paper clip tied to it. Now we're going to put our Magic Carpet Rider, oops, into the paper clip. Actually, we want to do it this way, so this will be the correct way so that your Magic Carpet Rider is upright with the yarn underneath them. Now we're going to take our other paper clip and we're going to attach it to the top paper clip. All right, so now we have this chain going. Our next step is to take the lid off of your jar. We're going to turn that lid upside down. And let's take your magnet that has a sticky back on it. So this is kind of like a sticker. You can just pull the back off. And we're going to put it on the top of the jar. You know, your magnet will stick even if you don't take the sticky back off, but I like to double it up, just make sure. And then we have our regular magnet, and we're going to stick that on there as well. All right, the next part is pretty tricky. So what we want to do is we want to tape the end of the yarn to, or not tape, excuse me, use a glue dot to glue the end of the yarn to the bottom of the jar. So the easiest way to do this is, let's take the flat part of your top of your jar off and we'll attach the paper clip. And now what we're going to do is I'm just going to very carefully lower this into the jar and kind of look at how far down I need to tape on my yarn. So I'm going to cut off quite a bit of my yarn. If you can see in there, a lot of it is looped around. And then I'm going to try to tape it so that it's, or excuse me, glue it so that it's tight, because we want it to be not so tight that it's pulling the paper clips off, but we want it to be tight enough to where there's a little bit of tension is what it's called. So let's go ahead and try that. Another easy way to do this is to hold the top, oops, is to hold the top right next to the jar, and then you can kind of pull the yarn down like that. And that's about where you're going to need to glue it inside the jar, so you know the length that you need to cut your yarn at. So I'm going to hold that. I'm going to take my scissors and cut it a little bit shorter. Well, we want a little bit of room on it so that we can glue it down. We'll take our glue dot and I'm going to wrap it around the yarn. Now we can take the cap off so you can kind of put the yarn in there. And you can kind of see what I'm doing from underneath. We're gonna just press that yarn down, hold it for a few seconds so that glue really can adhere. Oh, it's stuck to my fingernail. This might be a little bit easier for those of you with smaller hands. Well, you know what? That glue dot got all messed up, so you know, I'm gonna go get a piece of tape. And if your glue dot gets messed up as well, you can go get a piece of tape from your house too. I'll be right back. All right, guys, I've got my tape now. You know what? Accidents and mistakes and experimenting like this is all a part of the scientific process and the crafting process sometimes. So right now we're being both scientists and crafters. And we're trying new things out. There we go. So that tape works a lot better. So if you want to get tape and put it on there instead, just really get it nice and tight on there. Make sure that your yarn is sticking. Great. There we go. Oh, but now mine's a little bit too tall, so I'm going to have to do some readjusting. And you might as well. But again, this is all part of the scientific process. Let's see. There we go. That should be right according to the measurement. Okay. There we go. Now it's all taped. We should be good. All right, guys, the last step is to give your character a little twirl in there. We're going to wind up that twine, and that will just help the magnet get spinning. So don't let go, and don't pull too tight because you don't want to pull the tape off, but you still want to hold it up. We're just going to spin it a little bit. All right, and here we go. Let's watch our magic carpets fly around the world, because our last step is to put the cap on, attaching the magnet to it. And, ready, it's gonna happen fast. There we go. So you can kind of see how it's spun around the world, and you can lift your magnet, oops, up and down and watch it spin again and again. You just need to wind it up a little bit. And if you move your magnet around in different ways, you can kind of make it spin. So experiment a little bit with it. But if you really want that good spin, wind it up really good, really tight. We'll do it one more time. Uh-oh, my tape's coming up. And voila, we have a spinning magic carpet. Cool, guys. All right, guys, thanks so much for joining us today as we created magic carpets in a jar and we explored magnetism. This was kind of a tricky one to get the length of the yarn correct, but if you kind of maneuver it around a little bit, try a few times, I'm sure that we can all get it just correct. And again, that's part of the scientific process, is trying new things and maybe having to change a few things in your experiment or your activity in order to make it better. So keep on trying and make sure to share your creations with us. There's information on the back of your instruction sheets on how you can do that if you'd like to. And also remember to keep logging your reading in your summer reading logs for chances to win these cool prizes and so many more. One last reminder, my friends, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so that you can stay up to date with all of our videos from the Rapid City Public Library. We have crafting events, we have activities, all sorts of fun virtual events right here on YouTube, so make sure to subscribe so that you can follow us and get the latest updates. Thanks so much, guys, for tuning in today. I will see you next Wednesday. Bye.